how did you get that footage of Diddy?
I think most journalists would not disclose their sources.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. My favorite villain? I kind of like Diddy.
There are no misconceptions about it.
He was, one time she jumped off of the ledge. Came running over because she thought me and Jay had issues, and I was like, what the? And I was like, did she really just jump down and run over here like that?
Beyonce jumped off a ledge.
Yeah, what happened? It was in the Cosmopolitan, huh?
Right. She really a superhero.
She jumped down and no, she was like, this what? Like that Bonnie and Clyde for real? You try this or what, boy? I'm here.
Word.
She down like at me. I said,
was Solange with her?
She looked at me like that. I was.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
Wow. You're going to let him say that?
Jay was getting Grammys.
he had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. At the same time, he got some shit. He's like drinking. His pictures with him. He thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up.
Jay's definitely.
Jay helped you?
Yeah.
How did you
As a
help?
competitor.
Explain it.
Yeah, because he never was someone that you communicate with that you're like friends with the person. But I always respected him because he was never an actual competitor in actual fact. He was someone who was a competitor through perception.
How close was Diddy and Jay-Z? They was close enough that they wasn't playing basketball, they wasn't playing baseball, they wasn't playing football, and they wasn't playing hockey or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z.
A new wave of controversy is forming, pulling together old speculation, recent developments, and unresolved claims into one intense storyline. At the center is 50 Cent, a figure known for openly challenging those he believes are protected at the top of the industry. For years, his focus has been on Diddy, but now he's pointing towards something much larger. He suggests the impact could reach beyond one name and into the circles of Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Oprah, figures whose names have surfaced in rumors for years but were never directly addressed. According to 50 Cent, the recent documentary involving Sean Combs is only the first step. He claims there is unreleased material connected to the same inner circle. A short online message reading "You're next" quickly went viral, triggering heavy debate. Many believed it was aimed at Jay-Z and Beyonce, especially given the timing. Observers highlighted decades of shared business ties, elite events, and overlapping circles linking these figures together. Those connections have renewed questions about how deep these relationships go. Now, 50 Cent is implying that past alliances may no longer provide protection as older stories return under increasing public attention. If his claims hold weight, this moment could signal the beginning of a much broader reckoning.
These were private conversations, and that he and Diddy could talk openly, and Mark could talk to Diddy not just as a client but as a person, and try to guide him in a time leading up to his arrest. And unbeknownst to Mark Agnifilo, Diddy has got this guy recording the conversation as he's sitting there saying, "You are screwing this up. You are messing up this case. We're losing." And knowing that that's on tape. And it's almost like he's performing for the camera and not telling Mark what's going on. And the really enraging part about it is that Mark Agnifilo won this case for Diddy with legal strategy. it wasn't just an accident that this jury that had heard all of this in the news before the trial voted not guilty on all the serious charges. It was Mark Agnifilo that did that. Yet Diddy secretly records this guy and embarrasses him. And yeah, you could say, well, Diddy never expected that it would end up being broadcast somewhere else. Well, okay, but Diddy was planning on using it, or he wouldn't have had it recorded in the first place. So it's just really, really unfair. And I know that in a way this sounds crazy, that I'm getting so upset about Diddy, and yet there's video of Diddy beating Cassie. Well, that's horrendous, but that doesn't mean you can't look at something else as well. And I just think, as a lawyer, I just think this is just so outrageous that he would do something like this, and not even understanding what Agnifilo's legal theory was. Because I will tell you that when we did our first documentary on Diddy, which was 8 months before the trial, Mark Agnifilo said to me on camera that he is going to tell this jury that this was a successful black man that prosecutors were trying to take down because they couldn't get into his bank accounts because they were clean, and he couldn't deal with they couldn't deal with taxes because he wasn't committing tax fraud. So they go into his bedroom. And that's what Mark Agnifilo said 8 months before. And he goes into the trial and he essentially wins that argument, whether you believe it or not. A jury that sat through the whole thing, they believed it, and ultimately they convicted him on this BS Mann Act thing. So Diddy won that case. And one of the reasons he won the case is something that Agnifilo got criticized for. That when he did the documentary with me, he was making a joke about the baby oil. Remember, he said, oh, well, I didn't know he bought in bulk. He must have bought 1,000 bottles at Costco. And a lot of people just slammed him for that and said, how dare you? You're being disrespectful. The baby oil is the smoking gun in this case. Agnifilo knew all along that the baby oil was Diddy's best defense, because when Agnifilo got before that jury in closing arguments, he looked at them and he said, well, the feds came in with their armor and artillery and guns. And what did they do? They got 1,000 bottles of baby oil off the streets. Ooh, he said, the streets are safer now. And the jury laughed. And that laugh told Agnifilo he should keep going on that. And that the trial itself was absurd because the baby oil was really the punchline to the whole.
Fans also pointed out that 50 Cent has, for years, accused Jay-Z of discreetly shielding powerful inner circles within Hollywood, reinforcing his view that real influence often works out of sight. That tension feels stronger now because 50 has already proven he's willing to expose uncomfortable truths, shown by his widely watched documentary that directly challenged Diddy's carefully managed public image. So when he posted the warning, "You're next," it wasn't brushed aside. It carried weight. That weight comes from a rivalry stretching back to the early 2000s, when competition between the two reportedly became personal and never fully disappeared. Over time, their paths split into two very different forms of power. Jay-Z rose into a low-profile billionaire, shaping industries quietly from behind closed doors, while 50 Cent became a loud disruptor, building influence through media, business moves, and direct confrontation. One operates in silence, the other in noise. And that contrast is exactly why, when 50 suggests he's about to reveal something, people pause and pay attention.
Like 50 Cent has set his sights on someone new after the Diddy Netflix documentary. If you aren't aware, 50 Cent has been getting insane feedback from the Netflix documentary he made on Diddy. Sean Combs' The Reckoning is what it's called, and it's #1 all over Netflix, beating even Stranger Things. Diddy himself has responded to it, saying the stories are false, of course, denying everything, and even trying to do a cease and desist on the Netflix documentary. And after this Diddy documentary, a lot of people have been wondering who's the next person that deserves to get exposed. And Jay-Z is the one that a lot of people are pointing their finger at. And the reason why Jay-Z's been getting a lot of this type of backlash is because Jay-Z was really close to Diddy. At one point, Diddy was even calling him his brother, and that Jay-Z's the only one that can call him his real name, Sean. That maybe there's something on Jay-Z's side that has been going on behind the scenes. Now, there hasn't been any solid proof yet, but Nicki Minaj has been going at Jay-Z for quite some time, talking about Jay-Z is manipulative and he steals, and he's been pushing a narrative, and that Roc Nation has control and power over a lot of things. And I can kind of understand where she's coming from to a certain extent. We got to remember when Jay-Z went up on the Grammy stage and said Beyonce never won Album of the Year and complained about that. Literally the following year, Beyonce wins Album of the Year, which is just something like that doesn't show you that there is some power going on there, that there is something behind the scenes that Jay-Z controls. It's clear as day that it's all politics on who wins Grammys, who gets the better light and things. So that kind of opened my eyes, as to Roc Nation's power and how they manipulate things in the media. I'll never forget Jay-Z would get this like special treatment all the time when it comes to the media. I mean, Hot 97, when they interviewed Jay-Z, they literally rolled out a red carpet. They never did that for any other artist. So Jay-Z's always had this kind of special treatment when it came to things. But now the question is Jay-Z involved in crazier things? I mean, there's been a lot of speculation in a lot of different ways, and people are pointing their attention towards 50 Cent wanting him to do a Jay-Z documentary. And it looks like he might actually do it, because on Instagram, he posted a drawing of Jay-Z that kind of makes fun of his looks, and he posted that photo and he said this in the caption: "Please stop sending me stuff like this. I'm not going to post it." Basically making a joke, because obviously he posted it on his social media. But, and here's the interesting but in this, is someone commented on the post, and the comment got liked by 50 Cent. And this is the comment. It's from Dom KMDA. I hope I pronounced that right. Dom Kanmada. He commented saying, "My only question, he's next, isn't he?" And 50 ended up liking that comment. And here's the thing. I actually saw this on Twitter and X, whatever, Twitter X, whatever you want to call it. And I wanted to confirm, is this real? Because a lot of people Photoshop these type of things just to create drama and create this speculation. So I actually DM'd the guy himself, and I showed him the photo, and I asked him, "Hey, is this a real photo? Did 50 like your comment?" He said, "Hey, yes, he did." And I was like, perfect. Thank you for confirming. Thought it was Photoshopped. I will appreciate the response. And he said, "I was surprised as well. Didn't see that coming." So shout out to him for, responding to my DM and confirming that, the comment actually got liked by 50, because, a lot of people Photoshop and spread narratives. So me being the proper journalist, or whatever you want to call me, news reporter, I, wanted to go get to the source and see if it was actually real. There's also something that's very interesting that went over a lot of people's heads, and that's the documentary coming out on December 2nd. That Diddy documentary coming out on that date. Literally 2 days later, you have Jay-Z's birthday, December 4th, which to me sends a subliminal message to Jay-Z that you're next. So that's crazy. That just, to me, shows that 50 is potentially gonna work on something going at Jay-Z, and he might get Nicki Minaj involved, because Nicki Minaj has a huge issue with Jay-Z with a lot of things, and I don't even know the full details of that, because she's gone at Jay-Z for quite some.
As the years passed, Jay-Z continued operating within the highest levels of influence, forming close ties with major power figures across entertainment, media, and corporate spaces, including Diddy and Oprah Winfrey. Whenever 50 Cent felt something was being quietly controlled or softened behind closed doors, he reacted in his usual way through sharp jokes, public shots, or strategically timed online messages. This time, though, it felt different. For the first time, 50 aimed a clear warning directly at Jay-Z, suggesting he may be holding information that could impact the Carters themselves. That immediately drew attention because 50 doesn't have a reputation for bluffing. His history of backing up his words pulled Jay-Z and Beyonce into intense online speculation, and that's when Oprah's name resurfaced as well. Many observers revisited 50's long-running criticism of Oprah's influence, arguing that she chooses her targets carefully, scrutinizing some figures while avoiding others with greater power. He has pointed to past documentaries, industry ties, and personal experiences to support that claim. To those following closely, These overlapping connections suggest a situation developing now may go far beyond one individual and signal a much larger spotlight beginning to form.
Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein, he was running with that whole crew. They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them. I have not heard one person denounce, well, man, let God handle it. Get the hell out of here. Get out of here with that. If that was your daughter, would you let God handle it? All those people, they ain't denounced him. They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, yo, I support him. Because it would mess up their brand. It would mess up their brand. Jay-Z. We the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff. But you ain't had not one person, brother, not one person sit there, denounce what he did, or come forward and say, I support.
The story expands even more as older criticism and renewed debate surrounding Oprah Winfrey come back into focus. Much of it centers on long-standing claims from Black entertainers who felt misrepresented, pressured, or minimized during major public moments. These accusations have circulated for years and were frequently highlighted by 50 Cent as examples of what he describes as selective accountability. Alongside that are previously discussed concerns connected to her Leadership Academy, as well as online claims that were later disproven but still left lingering doubts in public discourse. Now, with 50 already challenging one influential figure through a globally watched project and hinting that unexpected names could be next, many fans believe Oprah could also face renewed examination. What strengthens that belief is the complex network of long-term professional connections, Oprah's public admiration for Beyoncé, her support of Jay-Z's business ventures, shared appearances at elite events, and mutual reinforcement within powerful circles. Individually, these links may seem ordinary, but taken together, supporters argue they point to a pattern of tightly connected alliances, one now being revisited as old relationships are brought back into the spotlight.
On why Beyonce didn't want to speak and does not speak to Brandy. And the truth of the matter is that she go back there with Monica and Kelly, and there go Patti LaBelle, and then there goes Solange, all right? And there's a reason why Solange is around as well. Because if you guys don't know, for a while, Solange and Beyonce actually were not on speaking terms, but they're back talking now, they're back cool, and basically Solange is around to keep Beyonce spiritually protected. Solange is the spiritual protector of that family. Don't get it twisted. Mama Tina is powerful. Solange is the most powerful list. You better ask some damn body, all right? Now, the reason why Beyonce ain't came to speak to Brandy, baby, is because Beyonce does not talk to anyone who used to sleep with Jay-Z, okay? Whether you guys know it or not, and I have to say allegedly, right? Jay-Z and Brandy used to talk back in the day. And by back in the day, I mean like late 90s type stuff, right? Brandy always kept Jay-Z on the low back in the day because quite honestly, he was too ugly to be out in public with. I'm just keeping it real. To claim him publicly, he was too ugly back in the day. Now, when you try to search up pictures of Jay-Z and Brandy, you will find... Hold up, let me see. Hold up. Let me see, because I thought I had a picture of them two, Brandy and Jay-Z. Now, this would have been from Let's see. Beyonce, Jay-Z, Brandy and Jay-Z. Okay, there we go. Now, this picture of them was in 2002. All right. And this was, I think was at one of her album release parties, if I'm not mistaken. This was a year after Moesha Rap, because Moesha went off air in 2001. Yes, he was dealing with Beyonce at the time as well. And, Blue Cantrell, he was, let me tell you, Jay-Z was laying it low and spreading it wide. Jay-Z was one of those dudes in the industry that, you know, you messed around with, he piped you down, but before he was really him, you did not claim him publicly because he was just simply too ugly. It was what it was. But Jay-Z was in love with Brandy then. He's not in love with her now, but he still has love feelings towards her. He's one of those people that feels like once he done had you and once he done loved you, he always feels like he has like possession over you. Jay-Z is one of those kind of men, baby. I don't know if they told you. Jay-Z is extremely, extremely, extremely jealous, extremely, extremely controlling, and extremely, extremely possessive. That's another reason why. Hold up. Where'd the picture go? Wait a minute. Where'd the picture go? That's another reason why Beyonce up here. Wait. Anyway, y'all get the point. That's another reason why Beyonce, over the years, a lot of the music that she's made, it's always been with him. A lot of the remixes, it's always been with him or somebody that he approves of her to work with, okay? Jay-Z was so damn controlling, he didn't even want her father, talking about Matthew Knowles now, he didn't want her father managing her anymore, and he stepped in. And if y'all notice, when Jay-Z stepped in as Beyonce's manager, the music changed, everything changed, and the money started to get effed up. But that's another story for another day. We're not getting on that right now. We're sticking with Brandy and Jay-Z right now. So they started messing around on the low in the 90s. Even to the early 2000s, they were still messing around. I'm not exactly sure which year the relationship officially ended, but just know that Jay-Z was just basically good for, that was what he gave. He gave big, I don't know no other way to put it, but he was like, for the ladies that's watching, you know, like if you ever dealt with like a tall, ugly with big pipe, you went to him to get piped down, but you would not like ever like claim him like that because he was just super ugly. He was what it was. And before he really blew up, didn't nobody want to be seen with him like that. It is what it is. And quite frankly, Jay-Z dated a lot of your favorite female stars from back in the day, but they would not claim him.
Diddy and Jay-Z have operated within overlapping business and social circles for years, crossing paths through collaborations, exclusive gatherings, and access to high-level spaces where influence moves quietly. Many watchers believe these environments work like closed systems, carefully protected from outside scrutiny. And according to 50 Cent, those systems are now feeling real pressure. Speculation grew louder after Ray J hinted that prominent figures linked to Diddy were uneasy about the possibility of unseen material surfacing, leading some to slowly step back as attention intensified. As these discussions gained traction, Jay-Z and Beyonce were repeatedly mentioned not because of direct claims, but due to shared proximity, common venues, intersecting investments, private events, and consistent presence within the same upper tiers of entertainment power. In an industry built on relationships, closeness alone can draw scrutiny. And as old connections are being re-examined, many fans believe individuals once considered untouchable are now standing under a much harsher and unavoidable spotlight.
Right? You were connected to the biggest.
Jay got it for the music. Jay got it for the music.
You didn't sing.
Nah, he deserved those.
I'm sitting there, it's like this, like Black excellence. They're sitting there like, yeah. It's a billionaire brunch.
Oh,
Like,
I hate you, man.
unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year. Yeah. Come on, bro.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
He just looking at his watch during the whole Rock Nation break. Like, is it 3:30?
Yeah, it's almost time to get out. Yo, I feel like I'm normal again. Get me out of here.
Oh wow! So that's the deal he signed, huh?
Yeah, that's the deal. Like, the other ones didn't count as much as that one did.
Oh, yeah, before I forget this, we talked about Jay. Proximity to Diddy. You don't think he knew anything? He's seemingly around Diddy.
I don't know. That was a real suburb question.
I know, right?
Proximity.
Proximity. That's the SAT hit parade word. I learned that.
Do you think you knew all of the shit that was going on? Then I was like I
don't want to incriminate myself.
I know, but the way he said it,
like I said,
no matter how you answer that, you snitching.
That was a nice kind of
You asked the question like a fan.
Hey, I grew up with white people, but one thing I know is how to get a black guy in trouble.
But it's a great question. Yo, just give him the Happy Meal before you ask him to snitch, bro.
You said, damn, they wasn't even drinking.
Speaking of, how the hell you pronounce
Leshimendua?
Okay.
It's the King's Path.
King's Path.
Because I know Branson. That's the one I pronounce.
That's the Branson lifestyle. You're gonna be outside.
You're not worried that if you throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them.
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way. Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up.
I don't got that in my past. I'm not.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
like, not that it's real enough.
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't give her a drink.
This is why 50 Cent's warning carries serious weight. It isn't just idle chatter, it reflects a network of long-standing connections tying together Oprah's controversies, Diddy's scandals, Jay-Z's silence, and Beyoncé's tightly managed image into one fragile structure of influence. 50 has shown that he isn't intimidated by Hollywood power anymore, and the response to the Diddy documentary proved the ripple effect doesn't stop with a single person. Anyone moving within that sphere, professionally or socially, is now under increased scrutiny not because of direct allegations, but because proximity counts in an industry driven by access. As 50 hinted at additional projects, subtle shifts became visible. Legal teams revisited old cases, public narratives were subtly adjusted, appearances shifted, and digital trails were carefully managed. These quiet maneuvers only fueled public curiosity, prompting questions about who noticed warning signs, who stayed silent, and why. And as long as 50 keeps pulling at these threads, many expect more high-profile figures may be drawn into the spotlight, whether they are ready or not.
The 50 Cent Diddy doc. First and foremost, we've been talking about this thing, Jack, for going on 2 years now, and once again, thank you for even being, I guess you could say, a beacon during this whole conversation, as far as kind of spreading light on a lot of things that go down in the industry that, you know, the normal person may not even see or hear about, that happens in the day-to-day. Did you really think 50 Cent, when he first mentioned it, that there was an actual documentary being worked on?
Well, see, this is the thing. I can believe that it was happening. At what purpose? See, and that's the thing. Like, my opinion about all of this stuff is so much different than your average person's, and my outlook is so much different than your average person's. Did I believe that it was possible? Absolutely. Why wouldn't he be able to do a documentary? Why wouldn't he be able to bring in Alexandria to come and put this together? Like, the woman who directed this, she doesn't even seem to have a background in hip hop at all.
That makes sense.
So it's like, yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. I mean, for crying out loud, Diddy sent him freak off videos.
True. Very true.
Interviews
very true.
about it.
Did you feel that just 50 Cent's name being attached to it again? These are two, as everyone knows, the three names in hip hop are Jay-Z, Diddy, 50 Cent when it comes to the status of where you could get as a business or a brand.
I guess so.
So for the top three individuals, for one to go at the other and release this doc, I don't know, what does that say to again, I keep asking about the hip hop state of things. What does that say to hip hop? Like, are we our own downfall? I guess I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It all depends on what you consider hip hop. Like, I don't consider any of this debauchery, any of this animalistic crap. I don't consider any of this hip hop. I grew up in hip hop. You know, I know what hip hop culture is, and it's none of this stuff that people are selling.
I mean, when did it stop being hip hop? We're gonna go through the documentary itself, but when did it stop?
It stopped being hip hop when it became corporatized. It stopped being hip hop when certain groups of people saw that they could use it to influence the mass public. When people saw how influential hip hop was, it became very clear. Once upon a time, not long ago, where people wore pajamas and lived life, you know, where laws were stern and justice stood and people were behaving like they ought to good. There lived a little boy and he was misled by another little boy, and this is what he said: "Me and you, kid, we go make some cash, robbing old folks and making a dash."
Come on.
They did the job and money came with ease, but one couldn't stop us like he had a disease. He robbed another and another and a sister and a brother. Tried to rob a man who was a detective.
Jay-Z attended private gatherings. Beyoncé appeared at related events. And Oprah publicly praised figures now facing scrutiny, none of which confirms wrongdoing. Yet their names keep appearing in these conversations. In today's environment, mere proximity draws attention. 50 Cent has made it clear this is just the beginning. After taking on one of hip-hop's most powerful moguls, many believe the next moves could involve someone equally influential. The reason 50 is leading this moment is simple. He doesn't rely on access or approval. While others build power through alliances and curated images, 50 built his through independence, owning his media ventures, businesses, and platform outright. That freedom allows him to speak publicly what others only whisper, challenging figures once seen as untouchable and backing his claims with research, records, and testimony. In an industry governed by silence, that makes him disruptive and formidable. So, when 50 hinted that Jay-Z and Beyoncé should pay attention, it wasn't ignored. History shows that when he speaks, he does so deliberately and with purpose.